Hey everyone, Casey Powers. I hope you all are doing well. I thought I would go over a trade that I did yesterday on Friday um, on the S&P 500. The intention behind this trade is to demonstrate to pro clients precisely what I look at while trading. On the left side, you see a full zoomed out picture of the S&P 1 minute, and on the right side a zoomed in S&P, which I'm trading off of. Pay close attention to the trend lines on the left chart as I'm highlighting key areas of support and resistance. Right now the S&P is breaking below a key area of support after it's failed multiple times to go green on the day, the perforated line, horizontal line. I'm not going to short it here because I had a strong sense that it was not going to pull back. I'm looking at the daily chart at this point just to confirm what I'm thinking, and based on what I'm seeing on the daily chart, um, I believe that what it's going to do is it's going to fake out a pullback, and then it's going to snap right back above that area of support and squeeze out shorts and run right across the finish line to go green on the day at that 192.10 level. This is my hypothesis, and I'm going to trade it according to that plan. I'm interested in going long on it through options. I'm going to buy calls on it, and you know, I'm using options as a way to show people that they can make a lot of money off of a little. My total investment in this trade is $290. I'm playing the minimum of 10 contracts, and as you'll see shortly, what my average cost is, you'll see exactly what I pay for them. These are options that are due to expire as of yesterday. That's the low price, and that's another strategy that I use regularly. I pay close attention to the expiration dates on the options that I'm playing, so I can get a good price on them. So my goal here was basically just to double my money, and had I gone in 30 contracts, 50 or 100 or 500 contracts, as you may have seen me do previously, I would have made a ton of money here. The goal here was only to demonstrate how easy it would be to double my money, um, whatever that amount is, whether it had been 5K or 10K or 20K invested or 290 bucks. The same process would have resulted in a doubling of your money. You decide on how much you want to play, but I thought I'd do the bare minimum. A lot of people don't realize that with 290 bucks they can double their money in 40 minutes. You spend that amount during the week at Starbucks, or if you're a smoker, buying cigarettes or beer, or just trivial bullshit that has no return on your investment whatsoever. So here it is, proof here that if you get educated and you learn what you're doing, you can take 300 bucks or under 300 and double that money and be very happy. So right now, as you see, the S&P is doing exactly what I thought it was going to fake out, and it's going to retest that 199.50 area support and pop right back over it and squeeze out. Um, at this point, I'm not interested in entering yet until I get confirmation from the inside guys here that they're going to hold that level. At which point in time, I'm going to get on their train and I'm going to ride it right across through the destination that I mentioned, going green on the day. Um, Here's that pullback now, uh, right there at that 191.50 level. And again, this is a 40-minute trade. This is full unedited raw footage. So I decided just to hang back and let it run. And for me, this is what I call setting it and forgetting it. You get in at the prime entry, and at this point in time, my risk is, you know, very low, right around that 191.40 area. If that proved to be a top, then I would get out of the trade, and then, you know, I would wait for a confirmation of the top, and then I would short it. I would basically buy puts. So as you see right now, it's if you look at the trend line on the left chart, you see that it's still below that triple bottom, but at this point in time, I'm just about ready to jump back in, to jump in for the first time, I should say, and initiate my trade. So just stand by here and take a close look here and hang tight. You'll see it. My goal behind this trade, this video, was to kind of really simplify a long trade for you guys. All right, and this way, you know, you can look at it very carefully and get a really good sense of what's going on behind the scenes and what I'm thinking. That I inputted the I linked my montage to the chart, and it's showing the 1 minute on the call options. So it'll switch back in a minute, so don't worry about that. But as you see, it hasn't yet popped over that 50 level and continued to trend off it, so I haven't entered yet. It hasn't done what I thought, so I'm not interested in doing anything until it does what I am thinking it's going to do. All right. And that's that. So I'm in now. I initiated my trade. It's holding that level. It's back over that 50 level. My risk is at that 191.40. I got 10 contracts. As you see, my average cost is 29 cents. So per contract. So basically, the way you calculate options is it's your average cost times 10 times 100. All right, and so that's 0.29 times 10 times 100, and you can do the math. You get 290 bucks, and that's my total expense here in this trade. You could, you know, many times you see the share show 30, 50, 100. That's 100 contracts, and you do the same thing to get the total amount invested. Options are marginable, but typically I play them through cash because that's how I like to do it. I do have the ability to trade them on margin, but I don't typically, just because it's not necessary for me. So as you see now on the left chart, it is back over that triple bottom at 191.50s, and it did exactly what I thought. It faked out, it didn't pull, and it's right over, and you'll see what it does here. At this point, I got a couple of areas I'm focused on. I'm focused on the 192, the 192 area. There is a top there as well, and hang tight a sec. So there's this top up here that I'm very interested in, and then I'm interested in this area through green on the day. Okay, and as you'll see, my trend lines raise up as the trade continues, and that'll be that. All right. So there it goes, and you can see my unrealized gains. It's ticking up nicely. You know, it's again at a $290 investment. My goal is just to double my money and be done with it. And I did not, you know, I knew it was possible that it would break and hold above the previous day's close on 192.10, the perforated line on the left chart. But I also knew the possibility that it would not actually break and hold above that. And the reason why I was thinking that was because it failed all day. As you see, at 11 o'clock it hit it, you know, around 11:30 it hit it, and it could not break and hold above that area. So I knew that there were big orders up there that was not going to let it go. And to be honest with you, um, it wasn't just the big orders, it was actually part of the itinerary, I'll say, to keep the S&P below the previous day's close. And when I say itinerary, I'm talking, in order to really understand that, you have to be really willing to go deep down the rabbit's hole. And I'm not willing to be that person to take you there quite yet. But what I can say is I knew they weren't going to let it go there after a while, and so that's why I took my money off the table. The S&P, if you look at the post market, it closed at 192 and never did go green on the day. Exactly what I anticipated. So, some of you might think I have a crystal ball. I don't actually. I just know how they think, and I understand how the game is played, and that's just my gift. That's that. All right, so here it is. That 191.63. The S&P had 89 million in volume trading, and that is pretty low compared to how it has been trading at 150 million. So as you see now, it's over that area, and here's an area of importance here, this 191.70, where my mouse is blinking. And then you have this area here, as I mentioned before, top, and top here. It couldn't break a hold above that 191.90. Okay, and then you have the tops here and here, all failed attempts to go green on the day. And these are things that I am paying close attention to while I'm trading. Here's that 191.70 close up, sold off all through here, as is why it pulled. Second time around though, could be very different. I'm prepared to get out of the trade if it fails this. I actually didn't believe it would fail it. I believed that it would break right through it, because that's based on my assessment of the big picture of the 1 minute. This is the big picture, and based on the time of the week, the date of the week, the yearly chart, it was my belief that they were going to let it go through there, and that's that. So here it is, that area of resistance, and be very mindful of how it responds to that area. Okay, this could well be a sell point. I mean, if you were in big shares, and I'm already up 30 cents here, and you could take profits here. I mean, I do at times take profits at resistance, but this one I wanted to let it run for a while and prove that it wasn't going to. Big pop through there, and now we want to make sure that it's going to hold above here. So look for a pullback to that same area, and as you see, there's kind of a pullback coming back to that area. All right, there's a pullback coming back to the area, and we need it to hold above there, which it will do, and continue to trend up. And I just want to mention, this video is intended for you who are watching it. If I find that videos of mine are being shared, I can monitor the number of views, and I can also monitor IP addresses to see who's viewing it. I can also do a trace on IP addresses to determine location of who's viewing. And I take this stuff serious because this type of information I charge for, and you all have paid me to teach you. So I'm teaching you the best of what I offer, but I need you to also make sure that you're keeping this to yourselves, and that's that. And once I recognize that the videos are being shared, viewed excessively, or downloaded, then these privileges will be removed, and other methods of learning will be instituted in an effort to protect my content here. This is stuff that I, worked hard for and have educated myself, and I want to make sure that you all have a similar skill set as myself. So look at this, learn from it, don't share it. If your friends want to learn, send them to me. If they're too chicken shit, then let them just watch you drive away on your boat and take your vacations and live a merry life. Okay? That's just the way it goes. So here it is again at that area of resistance. As I said, it would pull back, and you see it's kind of having a hard time holding above that area. But at this point, I'm interested in this area here, this 191.55s. There is buy orders down here. So for me, I'm going to hold this until this becomes a top, and I'll still be green on the D, and I'll still be profitable. But I know also that this could very easily pull back and bounce right back up. So I'm going to give it to this area as a stop, as a hard stop. Technically, this is a pretty big move up, so it has room to pull back before it heads up. And a lot of times when it hits that resistance, it's going to over and under it a few times, fail it, go back, and then eventually hold a higher low and pop right through it, as it will do in a moment. Okay, so watch it very carefully here. Back over. Okay, it's a slow grind, 40-minute video. So for me, as many of you know, I'm rebounding from a bit of a cold. So to sit here and make videos for clients while making small money, $290 is, for me, it's there's value there, because $290 is $290, and I didn't do it for the money. I did it for education. But it's very convenient just to sit here in my home office and have tea and do this. It's cool. I'm very happy with that. So there it is, holding that level, as I said. And you don't want to get scared out of your position from all this crap. All right, you have to know where you're willing to exit. For me, once I saw this top and I already knew what it was going to do, I had already decided that I was going to do a hard stop down here and get out. All right, I mean, I still caught this whole move here, so I'd still be profitable. But at the same time, if you get out early and then there it is right back up, you're just basically in and out twice. You got a worse average now. Okay, so there it is, holding that area. And you can see on the left side, the big picture, it's on its merry way back up towards the destination that I had mentioned. Okay, all right, big sell order here, right in this area here. I'll pull a trend line up here. So you can take a look at this area here, and you can see why it's selling off over here. All right, so you see that there is some resistance here and here, some back and forth in this area, and so as soon as it hits it, it sells off here, but it's still holding above this top. So that's really the priority to me. All right, so let me run it again here. All right, a slow grind nonetheless, but it's doing what I thought, and that's basically all that matters. All right. Options play a little bit differently as it relates to profits. So that's something that you all will have to learn on your own, because I want to just teach you how to make the money. But as far as how the money generates through options and all that, it's something you can figure out. So as you see, it's right back down in this area here, okay? But it's holding. That's the key. All right, so let's grab my trend line real quick and take a look at this. Okay, so it's gone over and under, over, under. So now we need it to hold above that 70 level, and it's setting higher lows here, as you see here, 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 and here. So it's getting bought up, which is the key. That's what you want. You want to see the buyers coming in saying, I'm willing to pay a little bit more up against this resistance, because that kind of confirms that it's inevitably going to break through it. And of course it can pop through it and then come right back under, but you know, that's something you have to deal with. But I was optimistic it was going to break and hold through it and continue on. All right, so let's let it run for a minute. Still going. All right, very determined to break and pop over that 70 level. Okay, just let it do what it's going to do. Don't get shaken out of the trade. Don't get scared out of the trade. Writing the trend takes a different mindset, and the key is to get a good entry so you're not worrying so much about the money. Okay, as you see, you know, I'm already close to halfway. I was, and now it's retesting that 70 now. Now that it's over it, it's going to come back and try it again. This time it'll hold a little higher, get bought up, and come right back up. So we just need to let it play out. All right, and I know what my stop is, and so I'm good to just let it do what it's going to do, and let's give it some time to play out. Right back up, gets bought up again. Don't focus on your PL, on your unrealized, unless you're in here to make a certain amount of money. I mean, you know, if your goal here out of, you know, if you just wanted 10% of your money or 20% of your money, then you could be done by now, okay? Or if you wanted 50%, whatever. But I was looking to double my money, and I did decide that, you know, if it did run and hold green on the day, then I'd carry it a little further on the run. But in this case, I had a very, very strong feeling that it was going to fail green on the day. My gut, I just have a very, very strong intuition when it comes to the trading, guys, that coupled with my skill, it makes for a great recipe. But once I get that feeling that comes to get out, I don't question it. And with this one, as soon as it hit the green on the day, you'll see at the end of this that I sold, and it never made it over that and stayed over it at all. So my gut was right on the money. Again, it always is anyway. It's my analytical mind that is wrong, but my intuition is never wrong. So it's just a matter of training yourself to listen to it all the time. So once it finally settles above that area, it's going to head higher a bit quicker. But again, you see it's forming support here at that 191.66 level. Okay? And I am aware of this rounding out now, as it is, you know, it was higher, 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 but now, you know, it's kind of coming back and rounding out here. So I'm watching that as well. And I do see that it's kind of coming below this support, but I will not be shaken out of this because my stop is here. And if this becomes a top, then I'll reconsider. I won't get discouraged by this area here. This is just, you know, bit of a fake out. You got some volume coming in, but the buyers are absorbing all these sell orders here, and this is really important to me because I know that there's buyers that want this to go higher. So it's holding that 65 level. Let it play out. A little bit of patience. And as I've said, you know, in the past, you may not have heard this. Don't just, the chart is the chart and it tells you what's happening. Don't try and interpret it in other ways, see it differently, make something out of nothing. You know, the plan is the plan. It's, if you're seeing it correctly, then you're going to get the right result. And that's that. As you saw in the beginning, I didn't jump into the trade yet. I wasn't trying to make something out of nothing. I was waiting for it to do exactly what I thought it would do. And then once the gears engaged, then I was able to move forward. Okay, there's a state of neutrality here that I don't mess with. And we all know what neutral does. It allows you to engage in a gear, whether that be forward or reverse. But I don't trade in that neutral, what I call no man's land. I don't mess around with that area. So there it is again, back over the support here. Okay, and I'll run my trend line here. So you see this area of support here, and this candle right here, it held it. All right, and I was being mindful of that. Although I was going to get out of here, I also knew that it was going to test here. Okay, and there are people who have weak hands who you know are going to get out of this, who are going to sell. They're in long, they're buying options, whatever, and they're afraid that it's going to break trend, and so they're going to hit the sell button. And those sell orders are going to further cause this to go down in favor of the bears, those who want it to go down. So you don't want to get scared out of your position here just because it's hovering around support here, here, here. It's dancing on support. You know, you got to have some courage here and just know what your stop is, and that's that. All right. So get rid of my trend line here. Start her up. All right. And by the way, this is Camtasia Studio. There's other ways that I can do this with videos, but this is, you know, easy, effortless way, and this is what I use. It's a great program, and I recommend everyone get good at it. Okay, so it's holding. It's back over that area, and now we should get some wheels under it. Okay. Excellent. So let it run here. Now that it's holding, it's back over. We're going to see an acceleration on the upside. There's our move up. Big pop. Okay, a lot of the sellers who are in the market are out. Okay, there was quite a few off this bar here, and now you got a little bit of volume coming in here, but it's over that area of resistance and it's held on just fine. Okay, so now it's going to pull back and retest to confirm that that area is going to hold. All right, you just let it do what it's going to do. Defending nicely, getting bought up here. See the wicks. That's what I want to see. Slow grind up. Holding that 70 level. Nice, getting bought up again. Buyers are going to keep it above that 70 level. Major resistance in this area. Very important to recognize the degree of resistance here, because, you know, although it played out well here, it's important to recognize the degree of resistance here all through this area, this 70 area. And you know, a lot of times when you're in long, you get frustrated and you're like, well, I'm getting out of here, because enough is enough. And what happens is, as soon as all these sell orders start coming in, sell, it reverses and heads higher. So, you know, you gotta just kind of recognize that when you sell, someone's buying, and when you buy, someone has to sell. So, you know, you don't want to get shaken out of this position. You want to just kind of recognize the trend, recognize what it's doing, have a plan, know what your stop is, and just be mindful. All right, mindful is the key. All right. And remember, the S&P, if you look at this left side here, just to kind of know the potential, this thing was at 190.95, and it gone straight up to 192. So 190.95 to 192. That's this type of move that you can expect from the S&P. And I've had the S&P, I mean, look at this move here from 190.40 all the way to 191.70. I mean, that's huge. So remember that you have to be aware of each stock's potential. And I would go a little further to say you want to be aware of the potential for every market you're trading, whether it be the E-mini or a Forex or penny stock or a NASDAQ, whatever you're trading, binary options, mutual funds, um, whatever. You want to kind of recognize what the potential is for for the um, for the item you're trading. Okay. Spending a lot of time on that 70 area, but to me, that's very bullish because it's like uh, it's like fishing. You have a big fish on the line and you have a real light test on your fishing line, and you know that if you're fishing with a 2 or 4 pound test and you have a monster bass on there, you're not going to just pull it in like you're ocean fishing. I mean, you have to have some finesse and some skill to reel it in correctly. And nonetheless, you have to kind of recognize that the bulls are committed to seeing this thing higher, and they need to weed out the sellers and get these orders out of the way so that they can head higher. And it's a lot of back and forth between that 65 and 75 area. But as you see what it's doing, once the path is clear, then there's going to be a run through the finish line. And as I said, this was my vision in the beginning. All right, and so I'm not throwing a party yet, because we still have areas of resistance that I showed you guys earlier at that 192 level. On the left side of the chart, you see the 192, 192.5, and then going green on the day. So those are my targets, and I want to see it succeed through what I was anticipating. So I'm already up, about 140, 130, whatever it is, out of a $290 investment for, about 30 minutes of work. Had I traded a shitload of contracts like I usually do, I'd be up huge, easy, 20 grand or whatever. I mean, it could really be this easy. If I had traded, 300 contracts or 100 contracts, I mean, I'd be up just huge. But I figured, I'm going to make it small so that people can relate to it. All right, because most everyone can afford 290 bucks, all right, or 1,000 or whatever. But figured, just play the default amount of 10 contracts, and that's it. So we'll let it go here. You see it's kind of topping at that 90 level, 190, 190, okay? But it's still determined. All right, so remember the area of resistance here. As I said up here earlier, you see on the left side where it's hitting. All right, here, 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 and here, which I mentioned earlier, and then it's going to deal with this area up here into green on the day. All right, and this is what was anticipated in the beginning, so this is not like a surprise to me. It's doing exactly what I anticipated from the beginning. Okay. So I have, a lot of screen real estate. So sometimes I'll reference a the full day's trading and zoom out on one, just so I can have those areas of resistance in my mind all the time. Or, I may just have my 1 minute chart that I'm trading and just trade it that way. But for this, for guys just coming into this or trying to master the system, it's good to have both views up here, because although they're both 1 minute, this shows you the whole day. This shows you just a few hours. So you always want to trade off the one on the right, obviously, to zoom in to see everything. But you want to get a picture of the big picture in your head, so so you're trading on the right side. All right. So they're just pulling back there. Test that 87, 88 area. We need it to hold at 90, 190, 190, the significant whole number. That's important to me. So we're into this 41 minutes already. All right. Big pullback. All right. So what's happening here is that they are freeing up orders to make way for a continued push up. All right. The big guys who are going to run it across the finish line need a bottom entry, so that they can make their move up. Okay. So there's going to be some selling before the final push across the finish line of 192.10s, and I'm aware of that. Okay. This is how it plays out most of the time, but of course there are times where it will pull back hard like this and set a lower high and continue to tank. You do have two sides of the faction, in that, although the bulls are prepping for a push through green on the day, the bears can very easily see this pullback as an opportunity to add to that, and there's a synchronicity. There's kind of a matched intention there, selling for two different reasons, and it could very easily pull right through that 70, and the bulls can lose the football, so to speak, and then it's going to pull, and that's that. So it's a kind of a strange dynamic, and I'm trying to find the best words to put to describe this. But just know, for me, seeing this, the first thing I thought of was, well, okay, they're selling off for to get a better entry for a move through the green on the day, and that's what I was thinking they were going to do. So on the left chart, I'm raising up my trend line here. All right. Okay. Got 190, 194 level. Really 190, 195, but that's pretty much where it's hitting. Okay. All right. So at this point, if it doesn't hold that 70 level, then I would be pretty much taking my money, because it had to fight for that, and I know that if it ended right back up into that abyss, there's pretty much guarantee that the sellers are going to rein in and take the bulls down to the ground. So I'm mindful of that, and that's my plan. And the key is, there's never any guarantee you know, if you can nail 8 of 10, you're good. 7 of 10, I think that's good still, but I'm the type of person who has high standards, and I like 10 of 10, and I don't really like to settle. I mean, for me, if I know there's a potential, then that's what I want to focus on, and that's how I've always thought. Um, I don't like settling for low standards of success. Um, but at the same time, I'm not going to fight and kill myself. If it's not going to happen, then it's not going to happen. Because if you start experiencing stress and anxiety and impatience and all this other garbage, these disempowering emotions that generate cortisol, then get out of it. It ain't even worth it because now it's not fun anymore. So you got to be willing to just, be mindful, allow this process to unfold, and just have your plan and to stick to it. All right. So as you see, it hit that 75 level here and got bought up pretty quickly, just like here. And all through here, it's keeping trend for the most part. Low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. All right. All right. So just here we go. Got a little bit of volume coming in on the bottom right of the right chart. You can see the volume coming in. Okay. So once we hold that 90 level, at that point, you're only 10 cents off of 192. And then once you're there, I mean, it's just a matter of going green. It's done. So all the hard stuff is pretty much passing through, and we're getting there. So look at the volume come in here. Good amount of volume coming in, okay, on that one move up. All right. Getting bought up here, holding above this low, okay, keeping the trend up. 95's coming up. Left chart here. Going to revisit, going to be testing this 192 level, whole number significance, 192.05's, double top here. Okay. We're right around the 20-yard line, guys, running all the way across the field. 20-yard line, entering into the end zone in sight. This is kind of how I see it. I'm at that 200. I was at 200. Now I'm down to 170. Big volume coming in here. All right. Volume coming. Bulls are saying we're there. Here's our end zone. They're creeping up on it. No mercy. We're at that 210 level. Almost doubled up on my money. Everything's panning out exactly as planned. Here we go. 192's up. Ready to go. Now I'm monitoring my PL, and I'm monitoring going green on the day. My initial PL target was doubling of my money. I'm 70 short. Now I'm 30. I'm 50 bucks short of that. That's syncing up with going green on the day, exactly as I thought. And we're right there at the finish line. You're going to see that green on the day line come through. I'm going to be jumping out of the trade here shortly. A little bit of a pullback as it hits this resistance up here and here and here. And I'm ready. At this point, it's just a matter of time for it to hit and go green on the day. It's basically a guarantee for me, as far as I'm concerned. And here it goes, getting bought up nicely. 190, 199, 192s will hold, and we will win. Here we go. Big move up. 192s holding. Bulls victorious. Some of the teams already starting their victory dance. We're at 250 on the PL. 280. Just about doubling up on my money. Small pullback to retest that 192 again. They're not giving it up easy. The Bears don't want it to go green. The Bulls are holding that 192, defending that 192 area. We're going to see that green on the day line show up on the right chart here any second. So far we're into it 51 minutes. Well worth it though. Big move up, volume coming in. There's our green on the day. I'm at 290, doubled my money. Ready to lock in any second. 300 bucks. Ready to close it. I locked in at $300. It hit green on the day and did not hold. That's it, guys. That's how we do it. I hope you learn a lot from this. Feel free and contact me for any reason. Peace.